Well, welcome. We are in my kitchen. Emily came over and we're preparing one of my favorite Canada Day recipes. Emily, are you excited?
I'm so excited to try this. I can't wait. I can't wait.
So we're making Bannock, and Bannock is an Indigenous fry bread, and I have a really awesome story. Bannock is actually the very first recipe I ever made ever. And I was about 7 years old. And my mom, because she's amazing and she keeps everything, she kept my original recipe for Bannock when I went on a school trip.
Yeah, and the date there is 1992.
1992. Look how perfect
Wow.
condition this is. Thank you, Mom. So I went on a school trip and we learned all about Indigenous history, and they made Bannock right there over an open fire, and I fell in love with it. So now I make it all the time, and I actually cook it in my backyard on an open fire as well. So now I'm going to teach you.
So a true Canadian recipe this is.
Exactly.
Perfect for Canada Day morning.
Exactly. Okay, so I have 1 cup of flour, so I'm going to get you to pour that in there.
Sure.
I'm putting you to work, okay? So 1 cup of flour. I like to use gluten-free flour. It's just easier on your digestion. Okay, I have half a teaspoon of aluminum-free baking powder. Pour that in there. We're gonna use about a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. I don't have measuring spoons, so just go with it. 1/4 teaspoon, a couple pinches. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. There you go. And we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. I like a nice neutral oil.
Okay.
This is great for high heat, and it's really nice, healthy fat for you as well. So just free pour. I like to free pour things.
Okay,
it's
you're
more fun.
the expert.
2 tablespoons. Okay,
That's
maybe
good?
a little bit more.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
Wow, you got a good eye there.
All right, let's try that, and then let's whisk that up.
Okay.
All right, so Bannock actually originated from Scottish settlers. They came to Canada and they introduced it to the Métis people in British Columbia. And it's the Métis who adopted it, and it's become part of Canada's story. So it's really, really awesome.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna add just a little bit more oil because it needs to be a bit moist. So keep that going, Emily.
Okay.
And we're gonna add some water as well. So I'm gonna help you out there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you a wooden spoon. It might be a little easier to, let's switch from the whisk
All right.
to the
Get
spoon.
that down there.
Okay. And it's going to turn into a nice dough. Bannock is kind of like a mix between a scone and a pancake. And if you notice, there's no sugar in this. Here, I'll let you keep mixing that up.
Yep.
Put your arms to work. There's no sugar in here, but you can absolutely add chocolate chips, which of course my kids like to do.
Right.
You can add blueberries, raisins, currants, but I like things plain, and I like to add maple syrup on it after to keep it extra Canadian.
Canadian, yes, for sure.
Okay, so you know what? Let's get your hands in there. This is the
Okay.
fun part. This is where I call the kids. Put your hands in there. We're going to make a nice dough ball, and then we're going to fry it up. You can absolutely bake it as well, but frying it keeps it a bit more traditional. All right, how are we looking?
Looks good.
Get it right in there. Make a
Get
big
right in
ball.
there.
Yeah. If you need a little bit more water, you can add just a little bit as you go,
Okay.
but you don't want it too wet. Do you need a bit more water?
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
a little bit
more
there.
just to sop it up. Okay, get in there. So Emily, what's your favorite thing to make on Canada Day?
On Canada Day, you know, I maybe, probably not make, but definitely eat is poutine.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
I mean, like, come on, can you get any more Canadian
No, I know.
than that?
I love butter tarts. That's got to be one of my absolute
that's
favorite.
true.
My mom
Yeah,
makes
they've
the
just had a
best.
few butter tart festivals around here.
Yes.
I've heard that they're incredible. I do love
Amazing.
butter tarts too. It's a
Amazing.
good recipe too.
Okay,
how
that
we
looks
doing
awesome.
there?
So you want to flatten it kind of like an inch thick or so. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nice and rustic. That's one thing I like about it as well. And we're going to put it right in the hot pan.
Okay.
All
that
right.
good, you
Yep,
think?
that looks perfect.
Okay.
Let's get that in there. Perfect. So that's going to fry for about 5 minutes per side.
Yep.
Okay, so of course, the magic of television, we have one already made that I made at home on the open fire in my backyard. So are you ready to try it?
Yep.
We're gonna
Messy
pour some
hands
maple
and all
syrup.
with the kids will love to do
Yeah.
that.
Oh my goodness, this looks so awesome. This is a great brunch recipe as well because it's kind of like a scone. You can have a cup of tea. So I'm going to cut you a
Okay.
little piece here. All right. Cut off a tiny little piece for you.
Soaked in maple syrup.
Soaked in maple syrup. Okay, that's for you.
Okay, let's try this.
All right.
You gonna try some too?
Yeah, I'm going to try some too.
Okay.
Get in there.
Let's do that. That's good. With that maple syrup soaked in, that's
Amazing.
good.
Well, I hope you try this recipe. And if you do, tag us on social media and have an amazing Canada Day
Yes,
weekend.
happy Canada Day.